There is need to stop child abuse. There is need to stop violence. There is need to stop acts of rape in our society all over the world today. And a very important topic that will help us to create awareness is about pedophiles. Now, we'll be looking at predators, pedophiles, rapists, and other sex offenders, who they are, how they operate, and how we can protect ourselves and our children from them. So, as children and parents, we need to begin to have red alerts on pedophiles. Now, let us see this picture. And this is what we call a pedophilic activity. This person here is supposed to be a lesson teacher. And you see that the student is sitting right on the laps of the lesson teacher. The chair has, the lesson teacher has now become the chair for the student to sit on. And I know that no parents will like to see this kind of activity. Now, who is a pedophile? It could be an adult or a late age adolescent, typically 16 years or older. Now, whose preferred sexual object is with pubescent children, that is typically infants to 13 years of age. And one thing we should understand is that pedophiles are typically child molesters. They are typically child molesters. What are their characteristics? What are the characteristics of child molesters? What are the characteristics of child molesters? Number one, they are most often adult male. They are usually married. They work in a wide range of occupations, from unskilled laborer to corporate executive. Now, I want to emphasize on their relationship with children. Their relationship with children. They relate better to children than adults. This is where we, the parents, we should watch out. When you see an adult that want to relate more to your children than others. Now, they socialize with few adults unless they are pedophiles. They rarely socialize with adults unless they discover that such a person is a pedophile like themselves. They usually prefer children in a specific age group. They usually prefer children in a specific age group. 7, they usually prefer either males or females, but maybe bisexual. A female pedophile may go for a male or female child. A male pedophile may go for a male or female child. We'll talk more about that later. Now, still on the characteristics of a pedophile, they may seek employment or volunteer with programs involving children of the age of their preference. Number 9 is important. They pursue children for sexual purpose. This is where parents should be careful. They frequently photograph or collect photographs of their victims. either dressed, nude, or in sexually explicit acts. They collect child erotica. That means maybe literatures of children that expose their nudity, their private part, and things like that. And child adult pornography. Child adult pornography has to do with pornography that moves from child to adulthood. They tend to try to do some kind of training for such children. Now, they may possess and furnish narcotics to their victims to lower their inhibitions. You know, at times they kind of want to make children to sleep so that they will start touching their private parts and things like that. So they use narcotics for them, just as when somebody is taking marijuana and things like that. These people are intelligent enough to recognize that they have a personal problem, and they know that it is a severe issue if their personal problem is known, so they keep it to themselves. 14, they may go to great length to conceal their illegal activity. Most of the time, when you see them handling children, they want to rationalize their illicit activities. They want to tell you that, oh, your child is in their safe hands and things like that. Now, they often portray the child as the aggressor. You know, initially, though we'll be coming to grooming very soon, initially, when they start grooming the child, now the child may not want them to touch one or two parts of their body. At that time, they refer to the child as an aggressor. So what they do at such a time, they know that children love toys, clothing, or trips. You say, oh, do you want to go to this amusement park? Do you like these toys? And so on like that. So they calm the child's aggressiveness. So they always see the child as an aggressor. Now, they talk about children in the same manner as one would talk about an adult lover or spouse. The same way that adult lover talk to themselves or spouse talk to themselves, that's the same way they also talk to children. So parents should be aware, children too should be aware as they are watching this program. Now, often was a child molestation victim. Most of the time, maybe at a particular age, 13, 14, 15, they themselves had been molested by somebody. So it's a kind of time for them to revenge on other children. They often seek out publication and organizations that support their sexual beliefs. Now, they are usually non-violent. In the community, people see them as respectable people. So pedophiles are frequently respected community members. Now let's talk about grooming. Grooming is just like when pedophiles start bringing children to a kind of training school for what they want. So the term grooming refers to the process the pedophiles undertake to gain a child's trust, and sometimes the parent trust as well. So be careful. A pedophile wants to be a trusted friend of the family. Now, at this point, you see, pedophiles will always look for children who are vulnerable. Who are those people that we call vulnerable children? Vulnerable children are children that are not helped by their parents. Maybe your child is having problem in academics and the child is somehow, the morale is down. If we as parents don't encourage the child and we are calling the child, for example, we are saying olodo and things like that, now that child becomes a vulnerable child. And that child will start looking for somebody that will kind of comfort such a child. So pedophiles look for this kind of children who are vulnerable to make them friends. Now God help those single parents. You know, they don't have husband and maybe they don't have wife. Pedophiles always look for children of single parents. Now, a child molester uses a range of games, tricks to deceive children. So we should be careful as parents when they are using things like sweets, games to deceive our children. Now, what can you do to protect your child from predators? Number one, you need to supervise your child's extracurricular activities. So either you are present there, either you have a teacher who is faithful, or you have somebody who is faithful that will represent you there. Teach your child about staying safe online. You know, the only opportunity that we have today now is online lessons, online this, online that. So we need to teach our children how to stay safe online. Have regular discussion with your child about whom he or she is communicating with online. Now, make sure your child is feeling emotionally supported. It is just like what I said the other time. You need to make sure that your child is feeling emotionally supported. Don't let your child to be down emotionally. Now, make sure your child is feeling emotionally supported, as I said. Then teach your child to recognize inappropriate touching. For example, be careful to tell your child, that if somebody refer to them as my wife, they should be careful. They should be able to tell you as a parent that this man is calling me his wife. Tell them, the children should tell such a person that I'm not your wife, and so on like that. Our children should be taught how people should not touch them in certain parts of the body. Good, we as parents, we cannot be pat on the back of our children and things like that. But we should teach the children that their private part or some part of their body should not be touched. Teach your child to recognize inappropriate touching, just like I said. Recognize when something is out of sync with your child. If you notice your child is acting differently, pursue the issue to find out what is wrong. Now, regularly asking your child questions about his or her day, including asking whether any good, bad, or secret touches happened that day, will help open the lines of communication. Parents should be teammates with their children. Never dismiss it if your child tells you he or she was touched inappropriately or doesn't trust an adult. Trust your child, because that is what pedophiles are looking for. Now, to protect your child, recognize when something is out of sync with your child. So at this point in time, I want to welcome Mrs. Additional to also give us some other information about pedophiles.
Hello, good evening, everybody, and thanks for listening. I want to say that, yeah, God bless you. I want to say that pedophiles are everywhere. They are everywhere, in your school, in the church, on the street, in your neighborhood. Everywhere you go, there are pedophiles. So you need to watch out for them, identify them, that when they do unnecessary things with you, you know that they are going somewhere. And so you have to be careful, and then you have to take precautions. Always tell mommy and daddy what you are going through. Don't hide anything from mommy and daddy. Just know that pedophiles are there to destroy children. And I pray you will not be victims in Jesus' name. Amen. So be careful.
tired